Hello, welcome back to another little video entry with sacredsexualawakening.com. Check it out and subscribe below for more little adventures around the world of the awakening that's happening. And today I'm with Virginia, a divine mother of three, or about to be the third, and you are a yogini.
Yes.
An earth priestess.
Yes. And a dancer of life.
Amazing. So I'm in Guatemala. I'm traveling the world, going to all the tantric hotspots and the vortexes where all the magical people end up. I was told when I came here not to do any tantra here. This isn't a tantric environment. And it ended up being very juicy and tantric. So Tecatitlan is on my tantric TripAdvisor 5-star destination. I'm in San Marcos. So when I started off on my journey, I spoke to my mum just yesterday actually about my mission on this journey. And I'm on a 2-year journey to find love. My two beloveds. To my two full power Valkyrie Shaktis to create a family with. An unconventional way to live life, basically. So we're going to have a few questions. And the questions are about love, life and motherhood. And the question is, what are your opinions on the conventional relationship structure?
Conventional structure might work for some and might work for others. That depends if they really connect with themselves or not, or if they are there of conditionment or because they want that. And I do believe that we are made to be in group. We are always willing to meet, to connect. Economically, that structure might work for societies, but as a human aspect, I think everything is possible.
See, I've been on this path of non-conventional relationship structures since Burning Man 2010. I've been living and breathing this new format I've developed, which is called Transparent Love, where we live by trust, truth, transparency, communication and respect. And that means, number one, trust. Love cannot live without trust. Number two, always speak your truth. Transparency, don't make assumptions. Communication is the best lubrication. And respect is all about having healthy boundaries. And for me, from this foundation, if you're embodying all of these, the people that come into your life end up embodying those as well. So you could create any kind of relationship structure. So if one person is in the million forms of polyamory and another person is in a one form of monogamy, that relationship combination isn't going to work.
Yeah, of course.
At all. Trust me, I tried it.
They have to be in the same train.
Yeah. So if I'm polyamorous and the other person is either polycurious, then there's a possibility. Or if the other person has their own relationship structure, like I have a friend who has the erotic companion one, which is her own belief system, and we were working with her one. So when it comes to relationship structures, my ideal one is on the vision board. And my vision board, which I'm going to put up now, is me and 2 other Shaktis. So I'm on this journey where I can be with 2 Shaktis, and this could only happen with time. So for 1 year I'm going to be in Tantra Town in Koh Phangan. So that time allows me depth with that person. And from there we're going to go to Sweden in 2020. I'll be 40 years old then. So there's more of the type of Shaktis that I like. The Valkyrie warrior women Shaktis. Bisexual, mystical and magical. So already they'll have an inclination to be with other women. And from there we'll be free. And for the next 5 years, hopefully together, we will be talking about children and creating a family unit. So if there's 3 of us, there will be more people to raise the children with.
That's great.
I know. More money coming in.
And the aspect that you're saying that you're looking for this bisexual Shaktis, I think that makes so much sense, because the foundation of jealousies or monogamous thing is based on the lack of your own Shakti energy. So if you are open with another Shakti, it makes a really nice equilibrium.
Exactly, where everyone loves the Shaktis.
Yeah.
Genius! I told my mum this, my very strict devout Muslim mother, who I told her about, you know, my yoni worshipping work and how I travel the world and don't have time to have depth with these women. Well, I do, but the time isn't there. So when I go deep with my lovers, who are all still around in the world, I won't see them for another year. So I need to be in one place at one time. And my mum gave me her blessing. My Muslim mother said, yes, this is a seal of approval. Go, find your beloved. So I was like, sweet, nice one, Mum. And my mum's great. And I believe that our relationships really are affected by our relationship with our parents.
Of course.
How do you feel about that?
I feel, well, there is all the self path. You heal yourself from the relationship from your parents, but there is always like this approval factor for some people really important, and as well, if your both parents they are in peace, you are much more free to develop relationships. Then if that doesn't happen, I think there's an unconscious transmission there of and yes, relationships are definitely linked on your relationship with your father, your mother. If you're grateful with them, if you don't, you have to do first your own growing up, and then you can start having nice, fulfilling, aware and conscious relationship with other human beings.
During my ISTA training, I was taught how to become my own mother and father. So I no longer needed the approval validation from my parents, which really helped. And I have an amazing relationship with my mother. That's why I have an amazing relationship with all of the women. And last year, you might have seen my video about my sick dad. And I healed that connection with my father. He made a full recovery from a stroke with the tantric tools and the family being there and everything. Now I've healed that aspect of that masculinity inside me, which means I'm making out with dudes now. Something I never ever did. I identified myself as a lesbian. I didn't trust men. I was just surrounded by women all the time. But now I'm hanging out with these super hot guys, all look like Shiva. And I'm attracting more and more masculine energy in my life, which had a direct result of my healing with my father. So my invitation to you is start building a relationship with your mum if you want to have a better relationship with women, and start healing that relationship with your dad if you want to have a better relationship with men. So question number 2. I'm going to open up with an amazing quote that some amazing full power divine mother said. And it is, the reason why women lose their sensitivity after childbirth is because they stop having sex. You said that.
Yes.
So what are your opinions on sex during pregnancy and after pregnancy and orgasmic births?
Well, there's a whole universe we can talk about.
Yoniverse.
Yoniverse. Yes, I have 2 children and one that's coming. And my experiences with becoming a mother during pregnancy, you have double blood on your system, you have all the sensitivity, you feel everything 10 times than when you're in a normal state. So for me, it's a gift for women and men to connect with life, love during this period through sexual sacred energy.
Are you saying that when you're pregnant, it's actually better to have more sex?
Of course, and it's so
Because you feel more?
you feel much more. You have much more sensitivity. You're more open in energetically speaking, your heart, your sensations, your emotions, your mental, everything. And as well, it's really healthy for the baby. You are in that time starting to transmit that sexuality is a natural thing, and then there is two energies happening there who created life, Shiva and Shakti. For me, when I'm pregnant and I have sex with my partner, I make love, I'm always like feeling that connection between the two energies that encounter in the masculine and the feminine, and the new life, the new human being is feeling that. And for women, it's like, wow, it's heaven. It's heaven.
More sensitive boobies, which means nipple
Yeah.
orgasms.
Your nipples are that's how I discover the potential of my nipples, and how women connect to love from your breast to life. It's when I was pregnant. That's how I felt like just a small touch could transport you to another dimension. And I empower women to experiment that. It's also a journey to get their body better. And as well, when you have an orgasm, a G-spot orgasm or a cervix orgasm, your uterus contracts. That's a normal orgasm. And when you're pregnant, your uterus is 10 times the size than when you're not pregnant. So you feel that contraction, and it's all in another exponential way, I will say. It goes exponential.
So
Yeah.
I heard, and I've experienced and seen about these orgasmic births. I was told that if you de-armor the cervix and start having cervical deeper orgasms, you're more likely to have orgasmic births.
Yes, that it's because the same hormone responsible of orgasms is the same hormone responsible of birth. So we are conditioned that giving birth hurts. And I think that is something that would change. It's changing.
It's changing for
already.
sure. Yeah.
I would say that my first birth was nothing to do with the second one, when I had much more conscious of my sexual organs, of my body, and it's actually no pain birth. It's a sensation. And as well, it's like you're having the head of your baby going through your cervix with maximum levels of oxytocin. So that's how you get into the transit of orgasmic birth. And I'm getting inspired. I hope I could reach this point in this third birth. Yeah.
There you go. And you said something amazing about sex after pregnancy. So being tired all the time, the baby's crying all the time, you've got 2 more kids running around, and you're really, really exhausted. How do you get more energy?
Well, by making love.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. And I also work with women, after pregnancy to recover physically, their pelvic floor and everything. And my advice is always like, make love. That's the best way to come back to the body, to reconnect with your sensation in your yoni. To reconnect. And of course, the energy-wise, it's like that. You're tired, you don't sleep. It's the reality of a newborn baby after birth. But after the 40 days, the sacred 40 days, when your womb has closed from the bleeding and everything. And even before, you can play with your energy and have orgasms, and you just feel charged and with much more energy.
So our invitation to you
Yeah.
is, if you're tired, I know the last thing you want to do is have sex, but have sex.
Yeah, and of course, and to release all the tension and to reconnect with your partner. It's the best medicine. I will recommend to couples with a baby, and sometimes there's the ironic part that say, oh, but I go to bed, I'm tired, I'm not into that energy to now make love. But I will just give you the will to try it, and you'll see. You will tell me, because it's all about here. If you,
It is, yeah.
when you start evoking your sexual energy, if you put your conscious there, the energy will come, and then you will feel much more connected, much more relaxed.
Especially if you are making tantric love rather than just shagging.
Yeah.
So there's a big difference from
Yeah.
shagging and fucking to making tantric love. So when you're making love whilst pregnant or afterwards or just in life, set an intention. Like especially during
Yeah.
pregnancy, like set an intention for the baby, set an intention for you two. And when you reach that peak orgasm or ejaculation, just have that feeling of that intention, which is, could be, you know, I want an enlightened child, I want to bring freedom into the world, or whatever that intention
Yeah.
is. Seed that into both of your beings, both, and the new being that's about to come. So yeah, making tantric love, not just using sex as a form of tension release, but really a way to reach God, the divine, which is connecting to yourself and self-love. So another amazing quote I heard from a very amazing mother was, it's not about normalizing sex, it's about naturalizing sex. Again, it was yours. So how do you talk about sex with children? And you have 2 and about to have 3.
Well, for me, it's about how I say before. It's something that has to be natural. It doesn't have to be like a special issue. It has to go in day-to-day basis, not like, oh, we're going to talk about sex. It has to be like whatever you talk about, food, about relationship, about love. In daily life, you include sexuality as a normal. You talk about their bodies. You bring conscious to them, to connect with their bodies, to know what they are. And from that on, I think it's not such much about talking about sex, but just living sexuality at home in a normal way, not in a taboo way. And when there are questions, answer with truth, natural, normal information according at what you believe. Not inventing things. They are kids, but they are not other creatures. They are like us, you know. And
they're enlightened from the age of 0 to 7.
Yeah. And
so you know, they already are aware of everything.
Yes, and they are quite interested on that subject really young, because it's natural, because they come from that.
Exactly. The amount of women that I've worked with that were masturbating and rubbing their genitals against chairs when they were like 5 or 4 and had orgasms and everything from a very, very young age is above average. So these are the mothers now, and the mothers to be, that will have to reprogram and tell the future generation that it's okay to be a sexual empowered being.
And that it's not only about having babies, but it's about enjoying their body, sharing it in a lovely way of connection with other human beings, in a mindfulness way. Always respecting and connecting with what they feel.
So, I mean, sex education from people of our generation is banana, condom. If you don't do this, here's a list of all the terrible diseases and here are the pictures. Goodbye. And now there's Hustler magazine. Back then we didn't have the internet. There's just magazines we found by the railway station. And that was our sex education. So what I want to do is bring Tantra, but don't call it Tantra, into schools. So teaching kids how to talk about boundaries and consent, how to connect with people, and how to create this joy and playfulness around sexuality rather than fear and stigma, and to create a safer place for each individual boy and a girl to grow up together in communities where they could express their desires, say yes, say no, and to be able to be in a place where sexual trauma is less, which puts me out of business later on in life, but it puts this planet in a better position to express and embody sacred sexuality.
Inspiring. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And yeah, I want to leave you with another quote.
When you're pregnant, you're never dancing alone.
I love that so much. So join us again. I'm on this journey for love, to find my two beloveds. I'm in Guatemala, Lecatitlan. I've taken a year off due to being sick for a long time. I'm getting this body back slowly, and I'm going to meet more and more amazing magical people on this hero's journey I'm on. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And subscribe below, and see you next time for another sacred sexual awakening. Mwah.